All right, I'm chugging on a movie. What do you want to watch? Any movie other than one of your fucking rom-coms. Something like an action movie. All right, enough with the hostility, dude. I mean, we'll watch an action movie, but what kind of action movie? I don't know. Something with a good character in it, like The Rock. Yeah. What do you want to watch? Fucking Moana? No. We're gonna watch something good. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator. If it's blades, we can kill it. Nah, it's something with a good character, okay? All right then, dickhead. What do you think is the perfect character? Funny you ask.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Bloor and Mandalore. I am your host, Jeremy Bloor, and I can't wait to dive into today's episode. We have got the top 5 perfect action characters. Look, please take note of my beautiful drawing. That took me a little too long. And you know what even took longer than that? Was standing this bloody thing up, and if it fall, I swear it's going to fall about 50 billion times today. Man, I could not even pay it to do that. Look, I moved this to the couch because last time I just struggled big time when I was putting it back there on the set. But guys, look, today marks the very first episode where we kind of dive outside of just specifically the Star Wars universe. We are looking at all over every single action character of all time. Now, for those of you who want to watch my Star Wars content, I've got plenty of episodes. Look, this isn't necessarily 100% free of Star Wars. But, you know, I completely understand if this is not your jam, if this is not something that you want to see with this channel. I just really wanted to kind of explore it. I've been so inspired by Beyond the Dune Sea, their recent thing of the perfect movie. That was, honestly, I recommend watching that video so much. That was such an incredible watch, and it was really, really inspiring just to see both the boys kind of bring out their cinematic knowledge. It's incredible. Oh my God, I choked on my words there. Guys, look, today, let's get into it. I have got printed out every single character that I deem to be worthy of this list and some special. All right. Now, this might shock you, but today it's going to be a little bit different. I mean, we don't have every single one of the characters that we all grew up with. I mean, this is not going to be a topic for everyone to kind of agree on. This is a very subjective this is a kind of a very subjective category. Basically, I mean, this is my top 5. It doesn't have to be everyone else's. So before you go into it being like, oh, why'd you put him there? It's mine. It's mine. Mine. This bloody thing. Maybe that's karma for being a little bit of a poopy head. But anyways, okay. If that's going to fall forward. No. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Oh, man. I hate this thing. Okay, that's this thing. I've even got a pillow behind it to try to bloody keep this thing up. I should honestly play that like the diddly. Anyway, okay. So, for every single one of these characters as well, I have got a quote. My favorite quote that they have said. I mean, depending on the movie, the season, whatever. I mean, it's indicative of the time. So the quote that I said it for, I deem that time period to be the epitome of the perfect version of that character. Okay, let's start off straight away with Rambo. Now, a lot of you guys may think, well, this is going to go into the top 5. No. I'm going to start off by giving you guys just kind of a special and also the ones who just could not be included because they were just shy of 5. Look, this guy right here, I mean, he's the king of action. We've got a couple of king of actions. It's not something that you could easily add onto this list and just kind of move on from. I mean, it's God tier. You can't create the whole category of action characters without adding these guys in as the foundation for all of them. So I definitely consider this to be a foundation. I've got a quote here. When you're pushed, killing is as easy as breathing. Now, these ones I'm kind of going to go through like a little bit of a lightning round. obviously, everyone knows Rambo. Everybody knows that he's the king of action. You've got, I mean, so many people that love him, grew up with him. It's just, it's that god tier status that you just can't put on the same level as even my favorite action character. The foundations are nowhere near as beautiful as the building, but they're honestly a necessity. You could not go without having these guys into this actual category of action characters. But the next one, bam! We have got the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, the Amazing Spider-Man, this guy is, I mean, by far my favorite Spider-Man. He's my idea of what the perfect Spider-Man is. This was Andrew Garfield. I have rewatched these probably 50 billion times. No, I mean, maybe not 50 billion because I'd be here for all of time. But I mean, I've rewatched these movies literally years after years after years after years. I am obsessed. I mean, one of my best mates, he looks exactly like Andrew Garfield here. And it's kind of funny every time we look at him, everyone goes, Andrew Garfield? Yeah, but I mean, they're probably referring to me because I'm so handsome. Crazy. Stop. Don't put that in the comment section. Stop. So he's got a quote here. I made a choice. This is my path. I don't necessarily see this guy as one of the foundations of action, but a necessity in the grand scheme of action characters. He's not more of a hero than he is a regular guy. I mean, this is a regular dude that has been turned into someone with superpowers. This is not going to be a heroes list. And it's kind of the reason why I wanted to put him on here as well. Is like, everybody loves Spider-Man. And this is the perfect depiction of who Spider-Man is for me. I mean, nerdy, very, very witty, but also just a kind guy. And it makes for really cool action because you're genuinely rooting for this character. Whereas sometimes you can see other ones, perfectly done by Tobey Maguire, but he did, a bully Maguire. Basically, I mean, his whole version with Venom was just, you don't really like him. You're like, why is Spider-Man kind of losing his way? And it's not something that I would deem as a great action character. I would definitely say that is more so a great hero to show the fall and to the rise again. Really, really cool. Just wanted to bring that guy in there because he is definitely one of my favorites. And next one, look at that catch. See, the thing is, I'm so worried that I'm going to rub out that top 5. Man, you better fucking stay. I need to get something to hold it there. I might just end up holding it. The next one, we have Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, if any of you guys have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, he's going to be your favorite character. He's going to be the reason why you would want to be a pirate as a kid. Johnny Depp. It's one of those weird times when you see a role that was so perfect for an actor. Where you get to see someone live out this fantasy in their head. This is not a character for anyone else other than Johnny Depp. I mean, you cannot have Jack Sparrow without Johnny Depp. It's just, obviously, you can have characters that, that you can switch between different actors. James Bond, Spider-Man, literally just before Spider-Man. But it's just not the same as this legendary character. Someone that is a sideline character, technically in the story, but he drives so much action, so much fast-paced fun, and just adventure. It's honestly, I mean, he's one of my favorite characters, which is why I wanted to kind of put him in that other tier. He didn't just make the list, mainly because what he lacked in action, he made up for in heroics. Which it's easy to kind of get confused with perfect action characters than action heroes. But I really did want to make that very clear distinction that some of these guys, I mean, they're not going to be heroes. They're really not. A lot of the time, they're selfish. They're rude. But it's a necessity. It's a necessity, and it's for the whole genre in itself. Now, I've got a quote here from Jack Sparrow. This is my favorite one. I'm dishonest. And a dishonest man you can always trust to be dishonest. Okay, I'm gonna try to do. I'm dishonest and I can't do that. No. Okay. So he kind of. I mean, he missed out on. Man. He missed out on being up there in the top 5, but he is always in our hearts. You remember that. Everyone's always going to love Jack Sparrow. I mean, even as a kid, if you weren't obsessed with Jack Sparrow, you weren't going to be my friend. Okay, I'm just going to hold this the whole time. Next one. Oh my god, I can't hold this. I can't hold this all the time. I'm just going to bloody sit up here. Bloody dickhead. Okay. Next one, we have John McClane from Die Hard. Okay. I mean, look, everybody's going to know this quote, so I don't have to just like give a whole explanation. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I don't know if I can swear on YouTube, but I'm not getting monetized anyway, so who cares? Look, I had a little bit of a special moment with this character itself. And it's the reason why I was struggling not to put this on my list. Really, really struggling. I mean, this was easy 6th. Easy. I watched this after knowing there are 50 billion diehards. You know, like you've got multiple movies, you know he's not going to die. Because of this character himself, I was actually on the edge of my seat being like, how is he going to get out of this? What is he going to do to be able to fix this situation? And I was genuinely interested. It was one of those movies where I've never been from home, especially. Like, in the cinemas, it's easy to get into it. I'm a big movie guy. Like, I love going to the movies. Love sitting down there, get a massive bucket of popcorn, just like way too much soft drink or Gatorade or even water. And then just kind of sit back and get immersed into the movie. So when you're at home and you've got such an incredible movie that you're really obsessed with, you're really getting into, I mean, like Beyond the Dune Sea said, it's lightning in a bottle. It's absolutely lightning in a bottle. It's something that is so special and so near and dear to my heart as a movie itself. And to hear about his prognosis, it was so unbelievably heart-wrenching, you know, to know that the guy won't even remember any of these roles that have influenced so much of our pop culture. Anyways, next one, on a little bit of a less sad note, I hope. We have, oh my God. Okay, you know what? And I'm not going to cut this, by the way. I'm not going to cut this. Fuck that pillow off. I think that pillow was being a little bit of a... It was the pillow. Okay. Next one, we have my favorite action movie star. The best one to ever exist. Okay? We have Dutch. But more importantly, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnold from Predator. His name is Dutch. Ah! Ow! Ow! Can't believe you. You son of a bitch. Okay. Oh, man, this thing. It better bloody stay up. Okay, so, Arnold Schwarzenegger, absolutely god tier. He's in Rambo level itself. Like, that is why I wanted to put it here. But, okay, I'm going to leave it for now. That's why I wanted to put it here. He is the foundation of action. You could not have any role that The Rock is doing, really anyone's doing, Uncharted, all that kind of stuff, without Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is the king of action, the absolute GOAT. And I've got his quote here. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Ow! Ow! I'm going to kill you! That's the best Arnold impression you've ever heard in your life. One of my favorite movies. I fucking love Predator. I love Predator. And just watching Arnold in there, he's been a massive inspiration for me in the gym, let alone just in everyday life. You should read his book. Honestly, my mate, my beautiful, one of my best mates, Martin, I love you so much, dude. He gave me his book, and it was just... it's life-changing. So please go check it out, and then this better fucking stay. This better stay. We have our next one. Iron Man, baby. Look, Iron Man, again, I wish I could put him on the list. He's not necessarily good as an action guy as much as he is a hero, which is why he suffers on this list. It's why I can't put him in my top 5. I mean, but he'd probably be 7. If I was going to do like a big top 10, I mean, you'd pretty much see all of these guys. I think I've got like 11 or 12 here. But I mean, we're going to make this quick. But, you know, I mean, Iron Man, everybody loves him. He's the one that started Marvel. I mean, obviously you've had some Marvel stuff before that, X-Men, all that kind of jazz, but nothing like Iron Man, nothing like Robert Downey Jr. Talk about a fucking comeback story with Robert Downey Jr. himself coming into this role. I mean, again, it's the exact same thing as I was talking about before with Jack Sparrow and Johnny Depp. You could not get Iron Man without Robert Downey Jr. And I've got a little quote here from him. Is it better to be feared or respected? I fucking love that. Love that. He just turns out to be more of a hero than he does really an action star. Now, again, this is effectively in my top 10, excluding the foundational characters. I mean, like, he's in my top 10. Don't get all fucking pissy with me in the comment section, just being like, oh, Iron Man is so much better than the other people that you're going to put, which I can't say right now because they're coming up to it. Okay. So the next one we have is John Wick. Look, really quick, his quote, those who cling to death live. Everyone knows John Wick is just like super in-depth action, the most insane in the membrane character that would just go off on tangents killing people because someone took his dog. I wholeheartedly agree. If somebody took my fucking dog, they are going down. And I'm doing John Wick style, the Baba Yaga. Oh man, that's like, he's afraid. He's afraid. He won't even stand up. Stand to attention, boy! Stand to attention! Stand to attention. Everybody loves John Wick. I mean, if you're a dude, it's ingrained in your personality. It's ingrained in your mind to just absolutely froth John Wick. But I mean, I know so many women that absolutely love it as well. It's not gender specific. I mean, it's a fucking action movie. There's nothing else. I mean, yes, he's in my top 10. I don't really know exactly where I'd put him. It's just not in my top 5. Okay, guys, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Let's get to the reason why we are all here today, motherfuckers. We have got... Now, I'm going to work my way up, and this thing better stay. This thing better stay. If it doesn't, I'm going to get so mad. I'm trying to look for things that could hold it up. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I fixed it. Don't worry. This is going to stand up for real. Guys, we've got our top 5. And I've got to admit, I mean, I've been super excited about this one. Everyone knows this character is going to be on my list. But we're going to get a little personable with these next top 5. This number 5, which we're going to work our way up. He's our boy, Mando. Now, I mean, obviously, everyone's going to be like, dude, you're Mando obsessed. Obviously, you're going to have Mandalorian on there. Yeah, there's a reason why I like him so much. But, I mean, honestly, it's because he brought action for me to Star Wars. I've talked about this character a lot. I've talked about the backstory, the history of, you know, me with my mate, him telling me where to go, what to do, all that kind of stuff, and kind of like how to enjoy it. But this character itself had one line, which I've got as a quote on the back here, that just instantly drew me back to Star Wars. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. Now, that was Mando Season 1, Episode 1, all right? This guy holds a very special place in my heart. I mean, I've got his lightsaber for when he had one. I've got all of these different memorabilia for him everywhere. I mean, I have about 50 billion Mando shirts. But this guy means so much more as an action character. He's the guy that brought Star Wars back from the brink of death. After the sequels tanked, after a bunch of other projects were kind of holding on for dear life, like Solo and Rogue One, I mean, Mando came out of the blue and it just saved everything. This guy who didn't necessarily belong to a light side or a dark side. He was a bounty hunter, but the bounty hunter that we needed to see. I mean, this guy is the epitome of what Boba Fett was in everybody's minds and everybody's hearts for so long. Sadly, they couldn't replicate that with the actual Boba Fett later on. But, you know, I mean, for what he lacks in heroicism, he makes up for in this beautiful action. He's actually the guy who, with a crew of 3 people to be able to make this character possible, is fluent in martial arts, weapons. He's proficient in everything, anything and everything this guy can do. Your everyday handyman in Star Wars. And I've got to say, I mean, that does a lot for me. This itself, this guy right here, he makes Star Wars possible to continue for years and years and years. But there's a very important part of this character as I stick him on here. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. There's a very important part of this character. A character that is an action hero. I mean, he's only made better because of a certain thing, and that is the imagination. If you can truly imagine yourself in that helmet, you can be this character. As a child, I mean, when you get to see someone doing all of this amazing, heroic, awesome stuff, just kind of kicking ass in the galaxy, you always want to be him. I mean, as a kid, if you've got siblings, you've fought with your friends and your siblings about all of these random things to do with, no, I'm this character. No, I'm this character. I want to be him. I want to be him. You know, it's odd in our childhood that we do get to experience stuff like that so often, but nowhere near as much as someone like this. He blew up because he was a badass, and he stayed there because you can imagine yourself as this character. It's one of the main reasons is why they kept his helmet on for so long, why they created the Creed. You know, I mean, it didn't necessarily need to happen, but it's something that as a child, it just sparks your imagination. When they show his character's face, Pedro Pascal, obviously he's a very handsome guy, I feel like it ruins it, which is why it's dropped down so much. However, this is a modern day action hero. Like it or not, this guy is the future of everything to do with action. No, it's not The Rock, as much as I do love The Rock. No, it's not a bunch of different guys that, I mean, Mark Wahlberg, all that kind of stuff. No. It's this right here, because he sparks the next generation. This is right here what is going to lead to so many amazing projects in years and years to come, when these kids grow up and they get inspired by a beautiful tin hand helmet guy. I mean, he's definitely my favorite character in Star Wars, but beyond that, he's just one of the best action characters. All right, next one, we have a guy who is kind of crowding the internet right now, both him and Ryan Reynolds. We have Wolverine. Look, I know I have this photo that's not from the movie that I specifically wanted to talk about. I just wanted to show how insanely jacked he is. And I mean, when I was looking at all the photos, Tia, I mean, my beautiful girlfriend, she was like, oh yeah, that photo. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So I kept it because my girlfriend's like obsessed with him. He's so attractive. Come on. If you don't think he's attractive, come on, be real. You know, Wolverine, I've been obsessed with since I was a kid. I have read the comics all my childhood, watched the shows, every movie, obsessed. Mainly because my dad was a huge Hugh Jackman fan. I mean, he still is. My dad's name is Hugh. So when he saw Hugh Jackman, he was like, oh yeah, that's my kind of guy. They actually went to school around the same time. Mutual friends. It's actually kind of cool. But, you know, it's just this guy right here, Wolverine. This is, I mean, not necessarily just Hugh Jackman. Wolverine, but specifically Logan. that is an action hero. I say that because it is passing the torch. In my school, we would always have this Latin kind of tradition where we would always say, I mean, it was the motto of the school. It was Vitae Lampada Tradunt, okay? Basically, it means pass on the torch of life. And this guy is the epitome of that. The undying guy who is filled with metal. He's passed on in Logan the torch of life to X-23 or Laura. Now, Logan isn't necessarily the greatest character that's ever been created, but Hugh Jackman brings him to life. And in Logan, we get to see a different side of him. This is the evolutionary version of an action hero, which is why it's so high up on my list. He's the kind of guy that, again, inspires a new generation. He furthers everything to do with the X-Men. Now, did I want to see more of X-23 or, Daphne Keane, who was in The Acolyte? Do I want to see more of her as Laura? Yes, of course I do. I absolutely do. But her performance and his performance in Logan itself blew me away. It's one of the best written movies, but this character, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good without the humility that he got within Logan. Yes, he was the big bearing beast that we all love. I mean, everybody loves how Wolverine just slashes through helicopters on a motorbike, brings down all of these insanely accurate people, and then his brother Sabretooth, and even a previous version of Deadpool. I mean, we all love Wolverine. There's a reason why it was a massive success in the actual box office. Close to like 1 billion, which is insane. But this guy himself, he's the torchbearer. He is passing on the torch of life. And I mean, you can't say too much about X-Men other than it has transcended time. I mean, started in the 70s in the comics and it's continued this far because of characters like this. So, got a little quote here. Nature made me a freak. Man made me a weapon. That was in Logan. And it's kind of the downfall of the action hero where he kind of loses his way and he's like, I don't want to do this because of this and this and this, blah, 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 blah. I get it. It's what makes him so special. To be able to continually do good and when you're being poisoned and you're completely fucked, you're dying, to be able to use all of your last energy to be able to save a kid, that's an action character. That is absolutely. Like, he's not necessarily a hero because he's done some bad shit. But that is my action character. I'm obsessed with him, especially at the moment. Let me just put this one on. Okay. You know what? Actually, I should probably... I'll put it on. I'll keep on putting it on at the end. All right, we have the next character. Oh my God. Guys, we're in the top 3. Special mention to everyone who's been watching so far and has continued through with my absolutely dull rants. Nah, it's not dull. I really enjoy these characters. I really like this topic. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I really am. I want to do more stuff like this, kind of showcasing a lot of my, not necessarily knowledge, but passion for other aspects of popular culture. Guys, this one is from one of my favorite games and one of the perfect games, most amazing games that's ever been created. We have got Batman Arkham Knight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This guy right here, he is the most badass Batman that we have ever seen. But he didn't really talk too much. He talked a lot about responsibility, but, not as much as what we saw in stuff like Batman Begins, which is where I got the quote from. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. So let me just put this one on and I'll explain. This character right here, I mean, my favorite superhero of all time. Batman is... He's that guy. But this character itself in Arkham Knight, I mean, this is a video game basically you're in one night in Gotham and the Joker, this is after Arkham Asylum, which is where the Joker has died, but he's kind of infected your brain. So you're getting all of these random things of Joker around the place. And you're getting a bunch of people trying to take over Gotham, and you're surviving it for the rest of the night, or you're trying to save it for the rest of the night, and also succumbing to the poison of the Joker, which a few people have already succumbed to. It's really, really cool. Like, in his lab, he had all of these different kind of capsules, which held people who were infected by the Joker virus. And then he had one big one, and it was like, people walked in, they go, "Who's that for?" Me. Oh! Like, as an action character, watching this, I'm playing it. I'm going through this going, oh my God, I'm not a hero. I'm the bad guy, but I have to fuck shit up in order to save everything else to then chuck myself away. Oh my God, it was incredible. Full, like, non-stop action. It was just like 24 hours of hell. Absolute hell. I've played that game probably about 5 times, completed it fully 2 times. You can't get better than this game. You cannot get better than this game. I mean, I talk to so many people about games itself, and then when I bring up this one, everyone has a memory from it. It's that kind of story that only could exist with a character like this. One who is basically rotting from the inside, but still being good. Oh my God. Like, beyond belief cool. Beyond belief my favorite superhero ever, and my favorite version of it, which is why that one specifically got up there at number 3. But, guys, we get on to the top 2. This is the biggest, baddest boys ever. And no one would be more fitting for the number 2 place. Potentially even number 1. It really hurt me. Like, this was basically splitting hairs. I mean, it was so hard. But we have to go with Indiana Jones. Yes, I know. Don't come at me, especially Connor. Please. He just did, in his video, Beyond the Dune Sea, I mean, he just did this whole thing about how Indiana Jones is his favorite movie. It's the best. It's the perfect movie, full of action, amazing. I am a mega fan of Indiana Jones. I grew up watching it. It was my very first M-rated movie that I could watch. My dad was like, I had divorced parents, and my dad was like, "Oh, your mum's not letting you watch Indiana Jones? All right, yeah, I'll let you watch it. It's one of my favorite movies." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was petrified. That forest scene where they're running, he's like basically just got the head, and he'd ran past the boulder, and all of the tribes chasing him going, terrified me as a kid. Absolutely terrified me. But I got to say, like, Indiana Jones, he's the perfect action character. Basically, again, splitting hairs, I would easily, depending on the day, put this guy at number 1 as well. Yeah, I'll go into the first one after, but I've got a quote here. I love this. It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage. Basically, Indy was talking to Marion, who's the girl, who, like, his main love interest throughout the whole movies. Yes, he's had multiple. Slayer. Basically, he's referring to Marion, was like, "You're not the same guy as when I last saw you." And he's like, "Oh, it's the not the years, honey. It's the mileage." I love this character. The epitome of the right guy in the right place, but willing to do the wrong thing in order to get the end result. I mean, like, he's burnt people's faces off. He's survived ghosts. He's basically sent something to God. I mean, he's rescued a whole village of children, and then just, like, absolutely saved history itself in the Dial of Destiny. I mean, you can't get better than this character. I am not the biggest Han Solo fan in itself, but the Harrison Ford version, not really. I mean, yes, okay, sue me, Han Solo, he's an awesome character, but he's not really necessarily one of my favorites. I have to say, Indiana Jones trumps it by far. There's a reason why Harrison Ford didn't want to be Han Solo as much as he did Indiana Jones. Yes, Han Solo got him the way there, but Indiana Jones finished him off and it turned him into the legend that he is. This guy is so special, so near and dear to my heart. I was able to watch this with my grandfather as a child 50 billion times, with my father so many times, and just being able to enjoy a movie with family, kind of sitting around. I've got a little bit of nostalgia that's kind of popped in with that one, but he takes number 2 easily. And again, number 1, if this next character wasn't so perfect. Let me just... We come to the final character. We come to number 1 on the list, the one that will top everything off as an action character itself. We have none other than the suited up, rampaging teenager, Master Chief. This guy, I grew up watching this guy in the games, playing as him, literally as a child, and just falling in love with this character. I mean, this guy itself, hate me as much as you would because I'm choosing this character. He is the epitome of what it means to be an action character. He barely speaks, but when he does, it hits home. When he fucking acts, oh damn! He kills hundreds upon thousands of Covenant. I mean, they call him the Demon for a reason. I mean, he's the guy with the super weapon inside of his head. He carried this whole franchise on his shoulders literally the whole time it's ever existed. The only reason why it is so popular is because of this character itself. John, aka Spartan 117, will always hold a special part in my heart. But not just because of his heroics and his bravery and just in general fighting as him and with him. It's a quote like this. We all fail. We all make mistakes. It's what makes us human. Now, I mean, I could try to do the Master Chief impression. We all fail. We all make mistakes. It's what makes us human. Guys, best Master Chief impression in the house. That one was from Halo Infinite. Not necessarily my favorite one, but my favorite version of the character. He's one that's lost. He's basically lost every single thing that ever meant anything to him. He lost Cortana. He lost the UNSC. He lost a fight with one of the biggest, baddest guys, Atriox. He's not the same man that we knew. And it basically turns him into the super weapon that will do anything and everything to reach his goal, but with the humility of being heroic. I am obsessed with this character. I mean, there is no way that you can say there's any video game character that is more perfect than this guy right here. Yes, if you've played on Xbox, you would know this guy. Obviously, you probably would have gotten the game for free with Game Pass. If you're on PlayStation, I'd recommend even just watching the cutscenes with this dude. He's someone special, but he's someone that I hold really close to my heart. I remember playing with my brother and my stepbrother. We would sit back. Basically, it was when we had the corded original Xbox. Corded original Xbox would plug all of the remotes in. You couldn't get too far away from the Xbox because the remote cords weren't too long. And we would just play split screen for hours. I mean, it was the golden age of gaming where everyone would sit around and have a LAN party. You know, you could have 5 people on a couch all playing on the same game if you had enough remotes. It was... I mean, yes, that's probably brought this character up a lot more for me. But to have this guy in your corner, in a movie, in a TV show... I mean, I know the TV show wasn't that good, but he's someone special. And he's someone that deserves all of the highest regard when it comes to action. Yes, he's not the greatest like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or he may not be the Rambo. I mean, he might not even be the Batman, but he's the man that gets shit done. And when you're looking at an action star, that's all you want. That is everything you could ask for. A man that gets the fucking job done. Look, guys, that's going to be it. That's going to be it for the top 5. Let me put this one up. Now, I did ask everyone at home for their top 5 characters. And, I mean, look, I don't necessarily know if this is going to rank any way that you like it. I mean, for anyone at home that's watching this, I'll see. I mean, look, personally, this is where I would do it on, today. And, I've been thinking about this all week. So this is kind of where I rank them. But if you would swap it around, put it in the comment section down below. Who do you think I missed out on? Do you think I should have put whoever where? Should Mando even be on it? Should Master Chief be up the top? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. Being a solo host on a YouTube channel, it is kind of hard without reaction. So I appreciate every single one of you. Especially these fan segments. I put on my Instagram basically 2 days before. It's usually Tuesday, Wednesday. I put on just the fan questions or an interaction to do throughout the week. This one, I basically put, who is your perfect action movie character? Or perfect action character, sorry. Now, from Darth Christensen, 17, he said, Anakin Goatwalker, baby! Absolutely. Anakin is so up there. But, he's up there for different reasons for me. And I'd say one of the perfect movie characters, yeah. Or at least one of the perfect characters that's ever existed, not just action itself. The rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader, it has to be studied. Star Wars Nerd 00, the GOAT, says, Anakin or Peter Parker? I love a relatable, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to start this again. Star Wars Nerd 00, Anakin or Peter Parker? I love a relatable character that doesn't have to be just action. Understandable. Completely get that. Peter Parker, that's why I think The Amazing Spider-Man was up there. I don't know. I'm actually, put down below, dude, if you think, not fucking Hayden Christensen as Peter Parker. That'd be funny. What? They got the spider? No, tell me if you think Andrew Garfield was your favorite or whoever was. A lot of people love Tom Holland. My girlfriend, who is the next question. She loves Tom Holland. Maybe because he's just attractive. She can't be trusted. Tia Galanos, my beautiful girlfriend, says, you dressed up as the Lorax. Please, X. No. I'll go dressed up as a naked man. Streaker. Ooh. Press pause photography, a.k.a. the man, the myth, the legend, Connor from Beyond the Dune Sea. He says, in full caps, so I've got to scream this, Indiana Jones! Yeah, dude. I knew you were going to say that. And honestly, obviously I wrote this out before I put any of this up, but it was hard for me putting him in second place. It's just, I hope maybe you've played the games and you've seen Master Chief. That's the only reason why he's up. He's up so high. Those games were just so magical. For me, especially. Star Wars Sith 66 says, Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Dude's been kicking butt for almost 3 decades. Bro, I should have put him in there with the foundations. I consider him to be one of the foundations of action movies. By far, one of the most complex but simple characters. It's so hard to put it. There's a reason why he's been so successful. And Tom Cruise for just absolutely kicking ass, you're right, for almost 3 decades. That's insane. Thank you so much for commenting, bro. Next one, Will of the Force, previously known as Will Diamond Figs. He says Cad Bane. Now, I got to say, I don't agree with you, brother. I don't agree with you. Thank you so much for having an input. I don't agree with you. Only because, now hear me out, only because Cad Bane just feels like a cheap knockoff of like a cool cowboy, of what Boba Fett should have been as well. But to be fair, in Will's kind of corner, you should watch what he did with Beyond the Dune Sea. He even put out a reel on this one, basically describing. We did like the top heroes of all of Star Wars. Beyond the Dune Seas episode was fucking incredible, and all of these amazing creators, I mean myself included, were asked to be able to join and kind of put their submission in. Cad Bane was Will's video. You should absolutely check that out. That was so funny. It was so funny, but it was really, really detailed, really good. It might sway me. It might sway me a little bit more, but I mean, not necessarily. I don't think he comes anywhere near the top 10. I mean, not even the top 20. Appreciate you though. Appreciate everyone. I'm going to call it there. I love you all so much. I'm going to Japan for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be putting out a couple of episodes. Basically, it's going to be smaller ones because I kind of just, I don't really have a lot of time throughout the week. And a lot of what I do is put into these main videos. Look, I'll have some stuff out. I hope I will update everyone on my Instagram. I hope that I can get some longer videos out just to kind of like pump those out for you. But for now, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining, and I will catch you in the next one. Mwah! Also, go check out my page. I added a new YouTube banner. I know, it's pretty cool. Love you all. Bye! Oh, you fuck. Oh, bye!